Hi.
Come here. Hi. So that's Jacob.
That's Mickey.
And the peanut gallery is supposed to be in here. What are you waiting
I
for?
have a cat attached to my leg. Hold on. Get off of me.
Okay, so we are going to do another movie review.
I'm sure they can see it.
And
Get off me. Crazy cat.
he has not stopped playing since we got home. Anyway, so the movie we are reviewing today, because again we're in the Conjuring universe, so the next one chronologically is
Annabelle.
Annabelle.
There
Okay.
it goes.
This movie came out in 2014. It's 98 minutes long and it's rated R. It was produced by Peter Safran, who also did Annabelle Creation, right?
I think he does the whole franchise.
But it was also produced by James Wan. Now we know he does a good job.
Mm-hmm.
Directed by John R. Leonetti. It stars Annabelle Wallis, Ward Horton, and Alfre Woodard. It's a hard name to say. Okay, so Jacob, why don't you give us a little synopsis, or we can pass it on to Alexandria.
There, do it.
Alexandria, give us a synopsis of the movie, since you criticized Jacob in his giving of a synopsis.
Why not?
Okay, it's Annabelle.
It's about this newly familied family.
They just had a baby. Actually, she's pregnant first.
And they get the Annabelle doll, and then bad stuff starts happening to them, and through a series of events, a demon gets conjured, uses the doll, kind of scares the crap out of the people, and yeah, that's what they gotta go through, and then, things happen, demons, horror movie stuff.
Jacob, what did you like about the movie?
It was a creepy movie. Very good. There was some rather suspenseful moments in the movie, I felt. Like the whole thing with the sewing machine, how they kept with
Anxiety.
yeah, they built the suspense up for that pretty well. And the scene in the basement was pretty good. So and it was super creepy all throughout. And I liked the characters. There wasn't much else about the movie itself that stood out to me, I don't think. Of course, I'm tired. We're all tired, so I don't remember right now.
Alexandria,
Yes.
what did you like about the movie?
It was.
This is why I write it down.
I don't know. I mean,
We only have 15
it was.
minutes.
It was. Shh! Don't rush me. It was good. Had some good moments. A lot of the, characters seemed to be, for the most part, kind of believable for actual people. I don't know. It's a standard horror movie. Nothing too.
So insightful, isn't she?
Nothing that really stood out completely. That was like, oh my gosh, I loved that moment. It was just like, yeah, it's a horror movie.
Well, I thought it was very creepy, and like Jacob was saying, it was a great build-up of suspense, and it was a pretty decent follow-up to Annabelle Creation.
Even though this came first.
Even though this one was made first. I liked the wise priest, and that he didn't...
That's characters, Mom.
It's also what I liked, so... anyway, and how his sermons all related to the storyline. And they repeated his first sermon at the end for those who didn't catch it to begin with. So if you haven't watched this movie and you do watch it, make sure you pay attention to what the priest is saying. All right, what did you not like about it?
I don't think this one was as scary as the first Annabelle Creation. And also too, this was the first spin-off after the first Conjuring came out, and I definitely don't think it lived up to the Conjuring movies, even though we haven't seen those yet, or we haven't reviewed them yet. But it wasn't terribly scary. It was super creepy for sure, but it wasn't scary. Kind of in the same way that The Nun was. I think these two are about the same creep factor. I think the nun is probably creepier actually, but I think these two are about that same kind of just creepy, really creepy, but not scary, you know. But other than that, there's not a whole lot that I didn't like about it, you know.
About you, Alexandria?
Well, I touched on this a little bit when we were talking about Annabelle creation, but this demon is the most lame demon ever. Like, Annabelle creation, like we said, that demon was like ruthless. That thing was going after people, and this is supposed to be the exact same demon. I mean, it looks the exact same, so I'm assuming it's the same demon.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just kind of, you know, playing around, like not really doing any real damage to anyone, just trying to scare the crap out of them. That's it. It's like, you were going a lot harder earlier. What's going on here? I didn't like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt it had some scary moments. The entire thing overall was not scary,
Mm-hmm.
but it did have some, like the basement scene I thought was pretty.
Yeah. Or towards the end, the crib scene.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, so there were some scary moments in it, but overall, it was more creepy than. I think it was more suspenseful.
Yeah.
Than creepy, and so I mean I liked it for that, but also, but what this does, since this one was made first, it raises questions about Annabelle creation, which chronologically occurred before this one, such as if Annabelle, what was her name, Linda? Was it Linda? No, what was Annabelle?
No, Linda was the other one.
Huh?
Janice.
Janice. So Janice becomes possessed, right,
Mhm.
by this demon. And then she goes off and she runs away at the end of Annabelle creation, and she gets adopted by the Higgins. Okay, so she's possessed. So all this time she is possessed? I mean, her parents had no idea, so did the demon lie dormant? What happened in all that time?
I mean, that's what I would guess.
But why? And then she joins a cult, and then they go and they kill her parents and her step-parent, her adopted parents, and then they go and her boyfriend stab Mia, pregnant lady, and then Annabelle, Janice, kills herself holding the Annabelle doll. And then they come to find out with the police research and everything that they were trying to conjure something. What are they trying to conjure? I mean, the demon's already in her, so I don't believe demons conjure other demons that way. I don't think it's done that way. So I felt like that just opened questions.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
know.
not very consistent.
Yeah, so I mean, other than that, it was a pretty decent follow-up. But it's just, you know, it just raised a couple of questions like that. Like, wait a minute, that doesn't really vibe totally. All right, what do you guys think about the actors or characters?
They were all good. Nobody was bad, and I actually enjoyed all the main cast.
Yeah.
The two parents, the main couple, they were likable. And then the Evelyn, the bookstore lady, she was quite likable. A little odd at first,
Mm-hmm.
but she's likable. Like, you get to know her.
Mm-hmm.
And then the priest, he was likable as well. Yeah. I'm tired. Leave me alone.
You? Whoops.
Yeah, I think all the characters were pretty decent. I mean, usually husbands in the horror movie universe are kind of like,
Yeah.
ugh, yuck.
Yeah.
Because they were like,
He was actually a pretty good husband.
yeah, I mean, he did pull the crazy card at one point, but
It didn't last long.
yeah, this was like a couple seconds, and then he was like, no, it's okay, we can go to a priest, it's fine.
Because love wins the day.
So he was actually really great. I was like, yes, it's nice to see husbands that believe their wives in these kind of
Mhm.
movies, sort of.
Right?
And then, yeah, Evelyn, I loved Evelyn. She was really weird at first. I think the first time I watched this, I thought she was kind of sus. And then, because she just kind of acted that way, but then after, like, you know, the third scene she's in, you're like, okay, never mind.
Because you
She's-
find out what
she's
happened
chill.
to her, and so it's just like, okay, she's kind of...
And
Right.
then the actors were all good, I think. I don't think anyone was a bad actor.
Mm-mm.
Ooh, bless
you.
you. Ow! Never mind.
Well, I too liked
Take my bless you back.
Evelyn. I thought she was an interesting character, and I think she saw something in Mia, and I think that's
Mhm.
why, because she wanted to get to know her, but she didn't want to come off as too strong,
Yeah.
you know, and freak her out. And I think that's why she came off as odd. And this is all supposition. I have not read anything about the movie or anything, but this is just what I'm gleaning from what I saw. I just felt like, you know, she saw something in Mia, whether it be sorrow or whether she just had a connection since of her experience, you know, if that drew her to her for that reason, but again, didn't want to come off. So that's why I liked Evelyn. Plus, she was just sweet and fun and so caring. And I love the chemistry between John and Mia. I felt it was very natural. Mia, played by Annabelle Wallis, she was so natural with her responses and her reactions, especially with John, her husband, Ward Horton. She just seemed so comfortable in it. Like, she was totally believable, especially whenever she was scared and she would be shaken and stuff. And the basement scene is a very good example of when she was scared. She was quite convincing. And then every woman wants a husband like John. Let's be real. I want a husband like John. Okay, overall thoughts.
I liked it. It's a good movie. Again, I don't think it's as scary as other Conjuring movies. It's more suspenseful, like you said. It has some scary moments, has some creepy moments, but it's not like super scary.
Okay. We're all, we just
Same
flew in
thing.
today.
It's a really nice movie. It's fun. It's a couple scares here and there. Yeah. Overall, love it.
I really liked it. I thought it was a great story. I thought it had great characters. It was super creepy and suspenseful. Yes, ma'am.
They might have something to add. Who in their white?
She
Who?
needs a nap.
So it's the white people. Who in their right minds sees this hideous doll and it's like, oh my gosh, I want that. Like, that thing is
That was
ugly.
another thing, though,
That
actually.
was ugly as sin. And she's all over here like, oh my gosh, I've been looking for this for so long. Like, why? And then at
So,
the end,
she's obviously a collector of dolls. She has a whole collection.
and in the end, the nurse's mom's that's featured in The Conjuring that we haven't talked about yet, but the nurse's mom that gives the nurse Annabelle, she's all like, oh my gosh, my daughter has been looking for this. Like, why are so many people looking for this hideous doll? Why?
Because it was one of a kind. Okay, so what we learned from Annabelle Creation was that there was only one made.
Are we sure that one was made? Like, we don't know that that scene happened right after the other one.
I would be willing to bet. Otherwise,
I'd be willing to bet.
Otherwise, they wouldn't have shown that it was the first one. But
I'd be
anyway,
willing to bet
apparently this
more.
guy made a collection of similar dolls that all had like the white dress and red bow or whatever. So that explains why she would want this, because she already had the other two. But if this was a one of a kind, this thing would be so expensive. Now, John is a medical student. He's about to do his, what do they call it?
I don't know. We're running out of time
Whatever it is. Anyway, he was about ready to do that, so they didn't have a lot of money. How did he get this doll? Anyway, I digress.
That's why
So,
I think that there was actually the 100 that was supposed to be made. I think he made all 100 of them. Because that would make more sense that people would be able to afford and find this doll. Like, there's only one of them. There's no way this dude got his hands on it. There's had to have been more.
you would think, but the first one, the Annabelle Creation, does not imply that he made more. Okay, so you're ready.
Assuming the camera's still going. Big smiley face.
You.
Sure, I'll do a big smiley face too.
I like the hard eyes, because I really like this one. I like the suspense in it. Alright, so that's what we thought of Annabelle. Let us know what you thought if you saw it. If you haven't seen it, I recommend you do see it.
Like, comment, share, subscribe.
Help us get to 1,000.
Please.
Pretty please with sugar on top.
So you can get more quality content like this.
Right?
Like us lounging about on the couch. Half
All day.
asleep.
Yeah, jet lag. Wednesdays we do gaming videos, and Fridays we do random stuff. So, see you Wednesday. Till then, that's Jacob.
That's Alexandria.
That's Mickey.
Toodles!
Bye.